Hi, my name is Kevin Frank, and I wrote this book on how to solve the Rubik's Cube step by step in under 4 minutes. May not be the fastest way to solve the cube, but it amazingly works. The book is in 5 parts, and I'm going to show you each part and how to solve them. I'm also going to show you a couple pages out of the book to show you how simple and easy it is to follow my directions. I'm going to be selling this book for $13, and if you want to purchase it, I'll show you how to do so at the end of this video. So let's begin. In the beginning of the book, you're going to find this diagram. What you're going to do is cut the diagram out and tape it all together so that it looks like this. Each side will have numbers 1 through 9 on it with a letter in front of it. The letter will represent what side of the cube it is, like T is for the top side, F is for the face side, R is for the right side, L is for the left side, U is for the underside, and then you got B for the back side. You're going to use this as a guide as you're solving your cube. So let's begin. Part 1, which is on pages 2 through 10, we're going to be getting the 4 white corners on the face side here. All right. The book will have you first locate this white, orange, and green corner piece. All right. Once you find it, you're going to put the white square in location F1 over here. The next piece you're going to find is this white center square. Okay. Once you find it, you put it in F5 where it is in here. All right. And then the book will direct you to find this corner piece, and this corner piece. All right. When it tells you to find this corner piece, what you're going to do is find the location of the white square on that corner piece by using your guide. Then you're going to go to the book to that location and just follow the directions that it tells you to do. Okay, it's very simple. All right, so part 1, we're going to be getting the 4 white corners. All right, which was very simple, not even 10 moves. Okay, now I'm going to show you page 8 of out of the book. Okay, in page 8 we were getting piece number 4, which was the white, red, and green corner piece. Okay, now once we found the corner piece, we had to find the location of the white square by using our guide, and then we just went to the book to find that location. Like, say for instance, if the white square was in location L1, we would just follow these directions. All right, back side move to the left, top side move right, left side move up, top side move left, and it says you now have 4 corners. Go to page 11. Directions are very simple, very easy to follow. You're just going to take one of the sides, move it up or down, left or right. Okay, then we would go to part 2, which is on pages 31 through 35, and we'd be getting the yellow and white corners on the front and back side of the cube. Okay, now what you do here is we already have the white, so what you'd have to do is write down the locations of the 4 yellow corner squares. Okay, write them down on a piece of paper. After you did that, you'd have to put them in alphabetical order. Then go to page 32, and on the left side of page 32 is a list of 26 different sets of coordinates. Okay, you would find your coordinates in here. Okay, once you found your coordinates, you go to the middle of the page where it says chart. Okay, there's a chart that gives you directions to follow once you find your chart. Okay, but before you follow any directions, on the right side of the page is another set of coordinates, and this is how you're going to be setting up your yellow corner squares that you just written down. Once you have it set up this way, just go to your chart and follow the simple directions. It's usually maybe 6 to 13 moves. Okay, and then after you do them, you're going to have on the front and back, all your corners are going to be white or yellow. Okay, all these moves that I'm making are all in the book. It's very simple, all right, to follow. Okay, now on the front I got all white and yellow corners, and on the back I got all yellow and white corners. Okay, so that's the end of part 2. Now part 3, we're going to be getting the top and bottom corners in their correct locations. Okay, you could either do this 2 different ways. The first way is going back to pages 2 through 10, where in the beginning of the book it shows you how to, first we started out with the location of the white, orange, and green, and then we got this corner piece, and then this corner piece. Okay, but we only need 3 of them, and once you have 3 of them, the book will tell you how to set it up and how to do your moves. Okay, you could either do it that way, or a lot of times you luck out. All right, here we have 2 yellow corners, right, and with orange, so these 2 are in the correct location. So if you have them in the correct location, put the 2 that are in the correct location on the top left side of the cube. All right, and now, oh, we're really looking out here. Now we have to get 3 of them, which we already have. These are yellow and green, yellow and orange, so we already have 3. All right, so that looking for the 3 corners is already done. Right, now we go to page 36, and it tells you how to set them up. The 3 correct corners you're going to put in T1, T3, and T7, and the 4th one you're going to be putting into U9 over here. After you do that, what you do is there's 6 moves to follow, very simple. And after you do these 6 moves, then the top yellow squares are all going to be in their correct locations. These are all yellow, orange, blue, red, and green. Okay, then we would go to page 37. Okay, there's 12 moves. We're getting the bottom corners in their correct locations. All right, after you do the 12 moves, The bottom two right corners will be in their correct locations. After you have them in the correct locations, you're going to move them over to the left side, and then you're going to do the 12 moves again. And after you do the 12 moves, these two bottom right corners will be in the correct locations, and you'll be done with all of the corners, alright? But before you do that, the 12 moves, first look and see if you have two of them that are already in their correct location. Like, the bottom's all white. This is green and blue, red and orange, blue and green. Alright, we didn't get lucky here. Alright, so we have to do these 12 moves, but that'll give us these two. Right, I'm doing this fast because I know how to do it, okay? But all the moves are all explained right here, okay? Now, we have the two bottom right corners that are in the correct location. So now you're going to move them over to the left side on the bottom, okay? And do the 12 moves again. And after this, all of the corners are going to be in the correct locations, okay? On the top we got all yellow, yellow and orange, blue, red, and green. Now let's flip it over. These are all white, red, blue, orange, and green. That's simple, alright? You just got to follow those 12 moves twice and then a 6. Now we're going to go to part 4. But before we go to part 4, what I like to do is I like to line up all of the corners in the center squares. Okay? Here's the corners and the center square. Now, each side, every corner is in their correct location with the centers, right? All red, all blue, all orange, and all green, okay? Now we're going to do the part 4, which is on pages 38 through 50. We're going to be getting the top and bottom sides, okay? What we're going to be doing is looking for the colors that belong up on the top in what I call the play area. The play area are the 4s, 6s, and 8s, alright? Those are the F4, 6, and 8, R4, 6, and 8, B4, 6, and 8, and L4, 6, and 8. You're going to find them, once you find them in that play area, the book will tell you how to set up the cube and how to make the moves, okay? We're also only going to be getting 8 squares on the top and 8 squares on the bottom. Once we have 8 and 8, then we're going to set up one of the 9 squares, whether it be the top or the bottom. After that's set up, then we're going to complete the other 9th square, and that'll complete the top and bottom sides, okay? So let's look in the play areas and get the top and bottom. All these moves, it's all explained in the book, alright? Very simple. It takes about 5 moves to move one into a spot. Alright, here's. Now we have 8 white squares on the top, okay, but we have to make sure that they're all in the correct location. These are all blue, green, orange, and green, okay? Now, normally we do the bottom, but instead of doing the bottom, it's easier to flip the cube over and put your colors on the top. This way everything is in your view and you continue with doing the same moves, okay? And now we just got to get 8 of the yellow. Once you have 8 yellow, first make sure that they're all in the correct location, green, orange, and blue. Then what you have to do is find the 9th square, okay? The book will tell you how to set up the cube. And what we have to do is, like, if yellow's on the top, we have to put the 9th yellow square in location F8 over here, okay, which is here. If white's on the bottom, we have to put the 9th white square into F2, okay? So let's do that. We're going to, all right. Once you have the 9th square, like white's on the bottom, I have it in F2. Then all you have to do is complete the top like you did throughout part 4. Okay? And part 4 will be done. All yellow on the top, all white. Okay? Now, that's the end of part 4. That's the most important part. Then before we go to part 5, what I like to do, here's what you have to do. Now, we have the top and bottom sides that are complete. Okay? You have to put them on the left and right side. Now the left and right sides are complete. Line up the 2 sides and then the center square, okay? The centers. Now what you're going to do in part 5, which I call outcomes, where you're going to be completing the cube, okay? There's 8 different outcomes, alright? What you're going to do is you're going to roll the cube, and after you do it so many times, you're going to know what outcome you're going to be working with. Sometimes when you do an outcome, the cube will be done, and other times you'll just have the top and bottom sides done, and then you'll have to line up the 2 sides, you know, put them on the left and right, line up the 2 sides and the center, and do another outcome. Sometimes you have to do 1 outcome, sometimes 2, and at the most 3. Most of the time when you're doing 2 outcomes, the second one will be 3A, alright? Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to roll the cube like 4 times. And like I said, if you do it so many times, you know what outcome you have. Now, I know I have outcome number 2, okay? Because each side is missing one cube, one square, and it belongs on the opposite side, the one that's there, okay? So what I have to do in this case is, like, I'll be looking at these two, and if they're different, I'll move the top side left to right 2 turns, and then bring the middle down, okay? And then look at the next two. These are different. I'm going to turn the top left to right 2 turns, and then move the middle section down. If they're the same, I'm just going to move them down. If they're the same, I'm going to move them down, and the cube is done, okay? It was that simple, and all those directions are in the book, all right? Very simple, very easy. Now, as I mentioned, I'm selling the book, okay? And if you want to buy it, just send me a check or money order for $13 to Kevin Frank, and I put in parentheses a cube, P.O. Box 353, Stony Point, New York, 10980-2335. If you have any questions, my email address is kmf5176@AOL. Now, once I receive your payment, I will mail out a copy of the book to you. It'll go out first class, and you should get it within 2 or 3 days, okay? Also, on YouTube, I solved the cube by reading from the book all the way from the beginning to the end, but it goes in really good detail, all right? And you'll see how simple and easy it is, all right? And if you want to watch the video, just go search Rubik's Cube Solutions by Kevin Frank. It's a 41-minute video, but the only problem is it's in 3 parts. Parts 1 and 2 are like 17 minutes long, and part 3 is 7 minutes, all right? But that shows you all 8 different outcomes that you're going to come across and how to solve them, all right? But the video will show you just how simple and easy the directions are, and so easy to understand. I mean, once you do this, you're going to really be amazed at how simple and easy it is to solve the Rubik's Cube by reading from this book. So, thank you and good luck.